Hello, the game has started. It's me to go first. I have a fantastic rack. I can play Tinia for 64. And, well, the bingo run ends. But that was a great start. And I chose Tinia because the value for the blank was the same as one of the other tiles, an N. So I was reducing the number of different floaters available for opponent. And I chose the location to avoid placing vowels next to premium squares. Now, how can I sort this rack out? V is non-bingo-y, but I've got an additional problem with all these vowels and duplicates. Now, the E is a good tile and double E isn't terrible. So I guess Ava would start to sort the rack out. I think Maeve is a name rather than a Scrabble word. Now, no great opportunities provided by opponent. Van is good. Mun is good. So, should I be changing? Do I have anything through KI? Just Kiva? What about down from the R? I'm minded to change. I'm just not seeing anything with this rack. Yeah, I am changing. So, do I change more than this? This is tricky. I'm going with this. Wow, this looks remarkably similar to my last rack, with the V missing. I've drawn 2 A's, so I threw back 2 A's, drew 2 A's. And the A is quite a nice tile, just not in triplicate form. But I think I'm more likely to be playing through this. I have mana on my rack. No bingo that I can see with R or T. Do I have a double-double through KI? Not that I can see. Now, Een is good. Opponent's just taken that spot. So, gosh, close to anemia. But I don't have that. I have mana onto the R. Keeping double A, that's pretty grim. Nothing goes in front of Dan. A goes in front of Void. Surely that is the spot. But what is the play? So, what about Nam? That leaves the best rack leave, I think, 21 points. I think I'll play one square lower to take out some of the hotness of the top of column 4 and to stop opponent placing an S under Nam with a high scoring tile on this double letter square. I'm going with this. Well, this looks fairly bingo-y, but no 7 has jumped out. Where are the 8s? Still got the R and the T. So how about the R? No, duplicate L isn't particularly helpful. I have Ulm, N, but that's not going to score very much. What about the T? No, I've got the man and men ending, but what's left isn't very helpful. Double M is good. So I have Monal in column 4. That would sort the rack out nicely, leaving EL. Now I keep coming back to column 11. A double-double through KI would score pretty much a bingo-y score, and I'd only use 5 tiles. So is there anything through KI? Can't see how it would end. Opponent takes my Manol, my Monal spot. Topic takes an S. So that's quite a a ballsy place, only 17 points. Well, I need to sort my own rack out. So, a new couple of floaters in I and C. This rack plus a C. Well, I have Coleman, not a bingo. I have cello. 22 points for Coleman, and it's going to dampen whatever opponent scores with his S. Could there be a bingo? Not that I can see. What about the I? Am I missing something here? Something's nagging away with this rack. But I don't know what it is. There's nothing massively worth preserving in terms of 4 and 5 letter sets. So wow, look at that hot Z spot I'm providing. And only 22 points. I must be able to do better than that. What about hanging on to the E? And what about playing elsewhere? I do have the M for score. Mom is good. So what about playing Mole for 20, keeping a good 4-letter set, which goes well with R and T? I think I will do this. So this looks, at first sight, pretty good. And I do have an S myself for topics. Is there a 7 here? Is there an 8? Well, lesbian, I'm not sure if that's been removed as a slur. But ISC has not removed the slurs yet, so I do have lesbian. Wow, which plays with topics. Fantastic. So, supposing that gets blocked, do I have anything with the C? I don't. Do I have anything with the R? Rinsable, I think, is good. That will stick an E in the middle of row O. But if it's all I have, then I will play it. I thought opponent had played there, but it was just a new message coming up. So what about the E? Orc takes an S. This rack plus an E. No, I don't think so. This rack plus a T. Gosh, such bingo-y letters apart from possibly the B. And how about KI? Is there some amazing 9-letter bingo? Gosh, close to Balkanize if the I had been an A. But I'm not seeing a bingo. So opponent down to 15 minutes, and likewise. Through a T, I would have unstable. So there is a bingo through the T, but not through this T. What about O and T? Boat lines, not good. Great, lesbian is not blocked. For 90. Fantastic. So I have a 120-point lead. This rack is pretty grim. But with 7 random tiles, these sorts of racks will crop up with great frequency, so there's no point in getting upset by them. Now through an I would have wet suit, which would play off 6 tiles, no I available. I have Utu on my rack, which would leave west, which isn't terrible. What is terrible is the score I'm likely to get from Utu. I have unwet through the N. Nice, that's playing off 2 out of UUW, which is probably the most I can hope to achieve. And the rack leave isn't terrible. and 24 points, so also not bad. Quite hard to play off a U with a W, which is why there is so much dyssynergy between those tiles. And by dyssynergy, I mean that the value of the tile on the rack leave, each tile will have such a value, and if you add together such values for U and W, and then compare it for the value for UW as a pair, then the UW as a pair amount will be lower than the sum of the individual amounts. Now, opponent irksomely has blocked my unwet spot, and I don't have an alternative. Opponent has not provided an I. Should I change? I could keep EST. I've got a good lead. I could play U2 or 2-2 in column 4 for 10 points, keeping EWS. Where else can I play 2-2 or U2? Well, nowhere that I can see. I think that's going to be close, so I'm going to change. Wow, that's paid off. This is a much friendlier looking rack. However, may have slightly too many E's for there to be a bingo, and I've got no scoring tiles. If only I had a W. So if I played off double E, I will be keeping a 5-letter powerhouse. But where are the floaters with this rack? Well, R is the obvious one. Reseater, I don't think that's good. No, just not seeing anything else. Okay, so where might I play double E? Well, I could play it underneath Axe, but I think that's giving too much away in terms of row O. Not sure if Dane is good, but in any event, I can't put an E either side of it. Fell isn't good. I haven't considered KI yet. It will be so annoying if I overlook a double-double at some point, having paid it so much attention. Well, so it could end IEST, which would take out EST, AEER. I have Rekiest. I think, an opponent takes my spot. How galling. How galling. I did have Rekiest as a double-double, which would have been about 50 points. Okay. So, opponent provides another R, which I already have, and a G. So, étagères, I think, for 63. Yes, fantastic. So I maintain a 100-point lead. Column 15, very hot. Opponent's going to use it right now, or I will do next turn. I have honours in column 15. I have hood as a component part of a word. With Ron, if the R was an S, I would have Sun Hood. Ron Hood, not good. Yeah, just 39 points, that's fine. I still lead by 80. So, what can I do here? Hood with N-O-R. No real floaters to consider. What about the D? No, not seeing a bingo there. So, what I can do is sort the rack out, score 30 points, and take out the E and D, which are very useful floaters for opponents. Can I do any better than this? No, I am going with this. Wow, this looks temptingly close to a bingo. I think, dinitro. However, I'm not seeing anywhere on the board for it. Does it have an anagram? Well, it's very unlikely that an anagram would play either. Nothing onto the R. Not many words end OD or HE. DOH is good, so I have roid in that spot. Oh wow. Now, fantastic. Opponents provided a spot for dinitro. 470. Fantastic. And look at this. I draw the second blank and I have a 150-point lead. And although ordinarily one might rail at all these scoring tiles, when you're holding on to when you have a big lead, it's a pretty good sight. It's not going to be difficult to keep scoring 30 points. Wow, poor opponent can only manage 11 with the Q and has the bad luck to have it in the first place. So, what am I going to do with this rack? Wow, I'm very close to having foiboat. If the J were a different tile, then I would. Now, J spots, where are they? Ooh is good, so I could play JO, 30 points. However, it would be nice to make some sort of headway into B, F and Y. Still 2 S's to come. I could play Boif, 31. F not massively dangerous in column 15. And I'm taking out a bingo lane in row B. But primarily I'm looking at sorting my rack out and scoring well, and Boif definitely achieves that. What does wrecking take in front? Possibly the T. Okay, so I'm not seeing anything better in that spot. Boif also plays above Oo for less. The second F has gone, so the danger of something FF play doesn't exist. Bow is good. THE is good. I do like that I'm getting rid of 3 out of the 4 scoring tiles. If I draw 2 E's, I could have Jeffe next turn. This doesn't feel great. I feel I'm gifting opponent a 20 or 30 point play. However, with the blank, I'd quite like to sort the rack out fairly quickly, and Boif does that and achieves a good score. What would be an alternative with a J? If I played Joy, then B and F are not good tiles to keep. Let me count the remaining vowels. 11 out of 24, slightly vowel dry. I am going with this. Wow, I draw just 1 vowel. I don't have anything great through the F. Gosh, that hasn't worked out because I am now going to struggle to score 30 points with this rack. Row N a really decent bingo lane because of AXE and all the E's to come. So I have Judd on my rack, but that doesn't leave a good rack leave. Just wondering if there's anything I can do about row N. I guess I could play null for 12. Taking out row N, replacing it with a floating L. D goes in front of OH. I just don't have anything in that spot. I wonder if opponent is swamped with vowels. Now I can sort the rack out with Jilt, keeping DUL. Okay, nice play by opponent, decent score. Wow, and look at that. If I'd had just one of these E's, I would have Jeffe. J is good. And opponents created a new lane for bingos ending A or E, so the boif play has been a disaster. Well, slight overstatement, but certainly sub-ideal. Any O's for judo? No. Are there really no more J spots other than those I've considered? So what to do here? I don't have to burn the J, the rest of the rack is pretty awful. I don't have any A or E to go in front of go. So let me see what left looks like. 24 points. I think I am far enough ahead that I should survive anything. However, I'd still like to do the best I can. So that's 24. I've got jilt for 11. I have J, but I'd like to play off more tiles. Yeah, I'm going to play left for 24. And I draw an E. I'm actually close to word jeweler if the E had been a U or an A, which would have played in row A. Wow. So, and I've got UW again, that wretched pair, which doesn't go well with the J. When you have the blank, you're looking for bingos, and there are two lanes ending in E. But I feel I'm away from that, and there's only 8 tiles in the bag, so I may not get to sort this rack out. However, the priority is winning. So, can I get my J doubled? I don't think so. Is there anywhere for Jew? LE, not good. Wow, this is proving to be quite a tricky board. And I don't know if that's a function of the board or just the racks that I am considering in conjunction with it. Woo is good. So I have Wud, which takes out row A. Wow, 80 points for opponent for a non-bingo. 2 tiles in the bag. He could bingo again. My lead is 100. But what I can do now is Jew for 46, and that is going to outrun any back-to-back bingo. Yeah. Now opponent, oh wow, opponent's going out with unaware in row A, I think. So a grand hurrah for opponents at the end, but it's not going to be enough for him. Eight minutes for him to find it. So supposing opponent doesn't find it. Wow. Okay, that's a let off for me. So, oh wow, and that is a big let off because I have a monster play down here for 40 points and going out. Can I make it even better? Well, possibly, but I'm going with this. And the final score, 346 for opponent, 507 for me, a winning margin of 161 points. So a huge, huge win. Let's see what I missed. Wow, what a game. Always amazing to get over 500 points. Now, it started off in great style with Tinia. And opponent plays Orc. And I think I changed here. Key for 24. Yeah, possibly better than changing, but AAA, fairly grim. But every rack leave has its price, and I don't think AAA-M is worth minus 24. What might it be worth? About 0, then -6, third A, -15, M probably helps it. So that could be about a -15 rack leave. And it's a 24-point score, so I think Kiev would have been better than changing. Opponent plays Void. Manana. Wow, that's nice. 25 points. What do? I play Nam for only 4 fewer and keeping AEN, so I like my play. And this is where opponent plays Topic and did not have the S. Few, no missed bingo here. What do? I play Mole for 20, keeping AELN, and nothing obviously better. Horrible rack for opponent. Plays Flip, and I have Lesbian. What else was available? Rinsable through the R, and E12. Baseline through this E, that would have been nice for 78, but Lesbian scores the most. Opponent's rack plays Zoo. Wow, 38 points, K4, CUTS and Pub. Yeah, and I think I changed, so I think cuts would have been better. Opponent's rack plays Wrecking. Oh, wow, missed bingo through the R. I was ruining these R's all over the board, but I had a bingo through them. Arrestee. Wow, well done if you spotted that. But it wasn't a missed bingo because I had Etagere. So Arrestee would have been better because it wouldn't have placed an S in column 15 and it would have scored more. But a suboptimal bingo is better than no bingo at all. Opponent's rack plays Side. And now I have Oh-Ho for 30. Pretty horrible rack for opponent with the Q and the V. Plays Ovary, which is great for me because I have Dinitro. And I have a 150-point lead, so I think the game is in the bag. Opponent plays Chi. And this is where I play Boif for 31. Only 7 more points available, and look at that, it's keeping BF and Y. I did have an eye on playing Boif this turn, playing J the next turn, and then possibly bingoing, but that's in the hands of the tile gods. Opponent's rack plays Gay. And this was a rack I struggled with, and I went with left. Depth scores more but leaves duplicate L, so I prefer my play. The duplicate tile as a rule of thumb, worth -5. Now, great play by opponent with resize. However, N1, opponent could have played re-seize for 132, which would have taken him to 368. Wow, within 1 bingo's reach of me. I think I would have still won. However, 132 points would have been pretty scary to be on the receiving end of. Fortunately, opponent didn't spot that, and I lead by 100. Now, I played Jew for 46. Could have burnt the blank for 1 more point, but LUW is a rack leave I'm unlikely to go out with, whereas DUL blank I'm far more likely to go out with. Now, opponent's rack, there we go. He has Unaware in row A, doesn't spot it, plays Way, and finally Adults for 40 is best. So, what a game. Absolutely rip-roaring stuff. Fantastic start with Tinia. And then bingos scattered throughout the game with Lesbian, Etageres and Dinitro, followed by a blank, which was a pretty useful comfort blanket to have through the remainder of the game. So absolutely fantastic fun. Many thanks to opponent for a good game. I hope you enjoyed watching that game. Like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.